Hey, how we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Man, I am excited to be on here today. We're going to be getting into some really good conversation, real good conversation. We're going to jump into it and make sure, hopefully, that 2022 is the absolute best year of your life. I just want to encourage you right now that you determine the season of your life. Nobody else gets a chance to determine the season of your life but you. You determine what season you are in. You prophesy what season you are in, Stephanie. Nobody else gets to determine that but you. But we also got to make sure that we use the authority that God has given us. We got to use the authority that God has given us, and that is the power and of our mouth. So I want to know right now from you, what season are you in? Now, remember, not just externally what you're seeing, but what season do you determine? So hopefully I'm seeing things, Vanessa, like I'm in a successful season. I'm in an amazing season. Nobody else determines the season that you're in. Nobody else determines the times that you're in but you. And I'm excited because I've got my brother on here this morning who is a phenomenal teacher. And I've already grown so much from him and learned so much from him. And so you guys are going to have an opportunity to hear from him, and we're going to jump on into it. So let me bring Alex Morton to the script. Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I know you're on the West Coast.
Yes.
So I know it's early there. So I want to just tell you, thank you so much for jumping on here. I really appreciate it. We've been building together, I think maybe now for the last, I don't know, maybe 4 years. How long have you been with I am?
It'll be 6 years in August, as crazy as that
Oh,
sounds. Yeah.
that is crazy. So I'm just getting ready to hit 6 years in April. And I've been so tremendously blessed. My life has been changed. The relationships have been amazing. The challenges have been amazing. The victories have been amazing. And at the end of the day, I think we all end up growing from it. I've seen your growth. I know you've seen my growth, and we're still continuing to grow. What we have here at I am is really something special. I think we're making history. I think that sometimes when you're in the middle of history being made, it doesn't feel like it. I think about people like Martin Luther King and people like that, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. They probably didn't realize you're making history. Maybe because they were in the thick of it. You know what I mean? It was sometimes when you're in the thick of it, the challenge is sometimes you're making impact, but then it can feel like, Lord. But you look back and you're like, wow, these guys really made history. And I'm grateful because I really feel like, Alex, you and I and quite a few of others of us are really making history right now. That the stories are going to be told about the generations that were impacted, and already our lives have been impacted. And so, thank you for jumping on here today. You talked about a lot at the IM meeting, and it was, I don't know, I've heard you speak a lot of times. I think the two times I heard you speak that really spoke to me the most, there've been a few, but one when we were in Detroit, and you were really talking about just money, the psychology of money, which was powerful. And then you started talking about how you can't allow, whether it's war or pandemic or whatever, to impact your life. Like, you have to determine, what is this season going to be? And until I take full responsibility for my life, nothing really changes. So I'm going to
Right.
pray, brother, and then I'm going to loose you. Okay. So, Father, we just thank you, Lord, right now. We just yield ourselves this morning, and all those precious people that are listening right now. God, I just pray, Lord, that the word of wisdom, the word of knowledge, understanding, revelation, insight, direction, strategies, clarity would come to us. Lord, I pray now that you keep our hearts pure, our motives pure. Don't let us be deceived. Don't let us be distracted, but help us to make a clear, sound decision about our life and our vision. I declare now that we will think bigger and dream bigger than we ever have. I thank you that 2022 will be a year that allows us to surpass all prior accomplishments, all prior goals, all prior successes. And God, that our challenges perfect us and make us better and stronger. And God, I thank you, Lord, for these things. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, brother. So, what's on your heart this morning?
Yeah. Well, definitely excited to be here. I know I just texted you. This is early for me because my wife and I, we just packed up the Beverly Hills house, and we're driving today actually to Vegas to go plant over there. So last night we were up super late, packing up everything. But I'm like, yo, I got this call with Jewel, 8 a.m. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna be there. So definitely excited to be here today with you and everybody else watching this. And what's been on my mind and heart these last few weeks, months, I know summer 2022 is coming up soon, and you look at the global economy, this brand new digital economy, what's trending on social media, what's trending on TV. I really feel like we are in such a great place because of the just the insanity going on within the politics and this Russia thing, and obviously, hopefully on the back end of COVID, right? So you have all this confusion and disruption going on over here, and then everything trending is towards digital, right? Cryptocurrency, NFTs, Facebook changing its name to Meta, right? Elon Musk doing all the things that he's doing. There's just we're on this path of so many eyeballs on what it is we're currently bringing, right, into this marketplace. So I think the biggest message is that if you're watching this in the US, maybe you're in Europe, right? We're getting ready for a big Europe tour. Maybe you're in Africa, maybe you're over in Asia. You've got to understand that the world is rapidly changing. And right now, I believe over the next 24 to 36 months, anybody that makes a real decision to get involved with new information, new education, new mentors, and really decides to put their desires over their distractions, can really make an epic change in their life, not just financially, but really as a person, right? I've been an entrepreneur since 2011 now in this space. And just like you've grown a lot, you've learned a lot. I've grown a lot, I've learned a lot. But I don't think the stars have ever been this much aligned for a company, right? We're not over here selling, bottles of, water or lotion like everybody else. We're really bringing, really sacred information that's never been in these different neighborhoods at the dinner tables of a lot of families in our country. And now we are bringing, this whole idea of Wall Street to Main Street. And you're right. We've already seen hundreds of thousands of people's lives completely changed because of this access to information. And now with everything going on in the world, we are now even better positioned, right, in 2022 than we were when we started in 2016. So I think we're in a season of big decision. We're in a season of, immense focus. And we're in a season of, listen, I now understand that the world has changed so much. It's continually is changing so much. And now is my time to really set me and my family up for the rest of our lives. Yeah.
No, that's really good. And I think, I love what you said. I think we all have to kind of say, hey, this is an area I have to mature in, because we already know some of these things have already been declared. They're going to be wars. They're going to be rumors of wars. They're going to be pandemics. Unfortunately, I don't think C-19 will be the last thing. I think there'll be other things that come. I think there'll be people that come. There'll be people that go. I think there'll be all kinds of changes. And I think it's a time now where we have to be clearer than we've ever been. You know what I mean? Like really solid on where is it that I'm supposed to be? How is it that I'm supposed to live? What is it that I'm supposed to drive? Where is it that I'm supposed to go? I love how you started off by saying we're packing up the Beverly Hills home and we're going over to Vegas. Like I want there to be a normalization that you can really have whatever you want. It really is not up to really anybody else. It really is not. It's really, my destiny is really not about what somebody else does or doesn't do. Not that I won't see it, maybe even feel it, but ultimately it's my decision. How I live, where I drive, where my children go to school, if they go abroad or if they don't go abroad, or if they have horses in the stable or if they don't have horses in the stable, or if my husband is a pilot, we fly our own plane, like all this stuff we had to create, and I think that people that have a revelation that I have to create, not the person next door, not even my best friend, not my mom, not my dad. I have to create my life. And so if you would just kind of speak to that a little bit, because I think you have a tremendous sense of clarity. You're living it, but you have a tremendous sense of clarity on that. And I want everybody on here today to get that clarity, because we are making history at IM Academy. You do have an amazing opportunity, but you're going to have to, first of all, understand that you belong and that you have a seat at the table.
Yeah. Everything you just said is right on the money, right? I grew up and I was in, middle-class America, almost in the upper middle-class America, right? My dad drove an Expedition. My mom drove an Acura. They did good. It was six figures-ish a year, right? I never missed a meal. I never had to worry about, getting a winter jacket before Ohio's winter season, right? But there were all these things that I saw as a little kid, right? Why were some of the moms driving a Range Rover, dropping their kids off? Why were some families taking 2 vacations every quarter, right? And then other families were taking 1 vacation every couple of years. So I saw all these things, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, these are things that I want to create in my life. So I always was fascinated about how to do that. And then I got older and I found entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship, really what we do in this trading arena / building this organization with residual income on the back end, this ecosystem here. You don't have to be 6'5" and dunk a basketball. You don't have to be somebody that speaks 15 different languages and went to Harvard. You actually can be you from Detroit. You can be you from Ohio. You can be you from, I was in Kenya and Tanzania last month. You can be you from anywhere in the world. And this whole idea of creation, it's very, very simple, right? My late and great mentor, Bob Proctor, right, who went to be with God really just a month ago, his entire life's purpose was to teach people you can have whatever you want. You are from the creator. You are God's highest form of creation. You can actually create anything you want through your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. So if you're watching this right now, like Jules said, and you want to normalize having the things you want, giving the family you want, it all begins with you getting clear on, number one, the things you want. Number two, making sure you're in the right vehicle, right, to get there, and you're around the right people that can take you there. So if you're on this call and you're inside IM Mastery Academy, congratulations, right? And if you're not, you need to get in so you can start rubbing shoulders and bumping elbows with people that are exactly where you want to be financially, right? So this whole idea of creation is very, very simple. You write down exactly what you want to do. You figure out the vehicle that's going to take you from point A to point B. You make sure you have the right mentors and people in your life, but then you have to go out there and you have to have a real blueprint. And we as a company, us as leaders, we have a great blueprint that's allowed lots of people to achieve financial abundance in their lives. So I think people on this call, whatever you want to create, we can help you create it here in IM Mastery Academy. However, it's going to take you putting in physical work, right? Whether you go to church on Sundays or you go to temple on Fridays or you listen to Joel Osteen on Saturdays, right? You can feel as good as you want, but if you don't go out there and get your hands dirty and go out there and do the work, you're not going to ever really reap the benefits and have a great harvest season, because you got to put in the work to also attract the success that you desire in your life.
That's so good. That's so good, because the work ethic has to be there. The work ethic, it has to be there. I can't just write down my goals. I have a question. Are you writing down your goals? Are you daily on your goals, writing down, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, well, we're in a hotel right now, so I don't have my notebook next to me. It's in the truck on the way to Vegas. But yes, when I wake up in the morning, I get into prayer and gratitude, and then I go into my office and I write down, different goals. Right now at 32, being married, I always have, and you guys are a great example. I haven't spent too much time with your husband, but I know you guys are, I don't know, in this world, it's pretty rare, honestly, to see husband and wife go decades and decades and have a great family, right? So I have goals about being a great husband. I have goals about being a great son. I got goals about being a great future father one day. And then it gets straight into business. So yes, I write down my goals. I see them. I think about them. I feel them. And I know I'm constantly manifesting them every day.
Yeah. I think it's so important because we are so bombarded. Like it's so many voices. You got social media, you got the news, which I know you and I really don't watch. You just got a lot of voices. And so I want to encourage you guys that are watching. I really want to encourage you to get back with the person that invited you on here and say, you know what, I need to connect. Because I think community right now is more important. Hi, baby. Is now more important than ever before. Come here real quick. Say hi to everybody. Alex is on. Say hey to Alex.
Great leader.
What's up, man? We were just talking about you guys.
Oh my goodness. Y'all good?
We good. We good.
We're great.
Good.
We're great. How are you?
I'm great.
I was just telling them how you created the vision growing up poor to be a pilot and to own airplanes, but you had to have a vision for that for your life. So anyway, but yeah, it's so many voices. Like, I think you have to intentionally, like I'm here and I'm actually in our kitchen right now, and I wrote out what today was going to look like, how my day was going to be. I started off, I'm brilliant, I'm smart, I attract the very best that life has to offer. I'm irresistible to everything that's opulent and extravagant, and that I'm perfected in love. I'm perfected in wisdom. Everything that needs to be corrected in me personally is being corrected. Everything that needs to be corrected around me is being like, I think that because we can become perfected in talking about what we see, or we can become perfected in what we see. And I think that's where I'm working on myself every day. And I want to encourage you guys to work on yourself. I want you to know when I got started, and I know when Alex got started, we didn't know anything. We got contractors in and out, but we didn't know anything about the digital space. We didn't know anything about trading, or I didn't. I know for sure. I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency. I had to come in and stay inquisitive and ask questions and ask another question. And it's not like I got everything in the very beginning. I was determined, like, if Curtis Cobain got it, then I'm going to get it. If Jason Brown gets it, I'm going to get it. If China Bethley gets it, I'm going to get it. I just had to make a decision. If Randy and Wanda can get it, I'm going to get it. If Dwayne's going to get it, I'm going to get it. Like, I had to make up in my mind that I'm here to learn and I'm going to grow, because I'm not interested in reliving 2021. And 2021 was an amazing year for us. But I don't want to relive that. I don't want to relive that personally. I don't want to relive that emotionally, mentally, financially. I want everything to be superseded. And guess what? I can have it happen. You can have it happen. Alex is living his dream. He attracted that beautiful woman. He had a vision of her. You see what I'm saying? His life, them moving from Beverly Hills to Vegas. I love that stuff. That stuff makes me so excited, because I want people to know, if Alex can live his dream, if I can live my dream, they can live their dream too. They just have to be willing to be a student and connect.
Yeah. And what you said was, when you got in and you saw China, Jason, these different people, that's how I was in 2011. I mean, I was eating literally ramen noodles for dinner. I was going to Taco Bell for lunch. My grades were not the best in college. My parents cut me off with my expenses because my grades weren't really good. And then I got in this profession and I saw these other men and women, right, that were doing crazy well. And I said the same thing. Even at 21 years old, I said, you know what, if Nick, if Holton, if Tim, if Eric Worre, if Jeff Birdie can make all of this money and travel and impact, so can I. And I think that's one of the first steps people on this call need to take, is say, you know what? Yeah, is Jewel amazing? Sure. Yeah, Jewel's incredible. However, we're the same. We're people. We're all coming from the same creator, which means if she can manifest, if Alex can manifest, we're in the same company. Oh my gosh, I can too, but I've got to change my habits, my behaviors, my thinking, and I've got to remake a decision that I'm going to take this thing serious the rest of 2022 and commit, because we know the company's going vertical again. There's momentum all over Europe. We're going into a whole nother, arena. It's not just going to be trading. We're going to have a whole nother way for people to multiply money and go have crazy life experiences around the world, So there's just so much to be excited about. But like I always say, it doesn't matter unless the individual person recommits, refocuses, and redecides that they're going to change their life.
That is so good. Money. You know, a lot of people, I had a book club meeting here last night. It was really good. And people were talking about how they kind of grew up with kind of these different concepts about money maybe being taboo or not important or, you know, kind of downplayed. And because at the end of the day, money gives you options. Let's be clear. It's not important, but it is important. And I want to have that conversation because sometimes people are like, oh, it's not about the money. That's kind of true, but not in its totality. There is an importance to it because it gives you the freedom to be able to choose. That's all it does. It gives you the freedom to be able to choose. It gives you the freedom to send your children to, and there's nothing wrong with the community college, but it gives the freedom to say, okay, little Bobby's going to the community college this summer, or no, little Bobby is going to University of Scotland for the summer, you know, or we're going to go to Alabama to visit family, or we're going to go to the vineyard, Martha's Vineyard. It gives you the ability to make choices. And that's what I want people to have, because right now we have hyperinflation. Gas prices are crazy. You know, food. China literally sent me a picture yesterday. She was at Publix and she had a pack of turkey, and it was fresh turkey that she got from the deli. And she said, you just got to see this. I got to post about it. She said, you know, we don't care, but I need people to understand what's happening. And it was $27.
Wow.
And for a thing of turkey, I don't know if it was a pound or what, but it just looked like a normal amount. And I was like, so people, I think it's really important that people understand that they need to, and this is what I love about I Am Academy. You're going to learn the markets, money's patterns, its rhythms, its support, its resistance. You're going to really learn. I'm learning things and still learning things. I listen to Go Live every single week. I try to listen to Go Live at least 2 to 3 times a week because I'm learning from Mike Sotero. I'm learning from Curtis Cobain. I'm learning from Nick Gomez. I love what Nick is doing on NFTs. Like, it has been so good. I guess talk about that whole, is money important? Is it not important?
Yeah.
So we can make sure we have a good.
Yeah, it's just it's the psychology of money. It's the money blueprint. I grew up, I was pretty lucky because I had some parents that really, you know, made me believe in me at a very young age. You know, I talk about, they had an insurance agency. My mom, for a short period of time, actually worked for Tony Robbins Corporation. You know, they always had Zig Ziglar playing in the house. And if you can see it, you can do it. If you see it, you can do it. But then I would go to my other friends' houses and it was a whole different dynamic, right? You know, supreme 9 to 5, rich people are bad. You don't need to have a Mercedes. The Ford gets you to where you want to go. So, and a lot of people, I feel like just a lot of people in general, regardless of their background, they grew up in places where, like you said, money was taboo, or parents were really, really conservative, and it was all about save for a rainy day, right? You know, rich people are bad. Rich people are going to hell. Rich people are greedy. You don't need this. You don't need that. And then you grow up and you realize, wow, you know, money is not the only thing that makes you happy, because I've had a lot of money and I wasn't happy. Just a few years ago, I was making a lot of money and I was like, why do I feel super unhappy? And I figured that out. But money is very, very important. You know, Les Brown says it ranks right up there with oxygen. And that's the truth. You're never going to hear a wealthy person talk about how, you know what, money is a big deal, right? Because like you said, especially in today's world, yeah, it was $176 to put gas in our car the other day, right? Like you said, the grocery store, people are like, man, I go to the grocery store and what I used to get for $100, I'm getting like a third of that now. And when I look at it, I feel, I don't feel bad, but I empathize with the average family, normal family of 4. You know, the mom, dad, and kids, and all of a sudden their $60K a year feels like it's $34K a year, right? So I feel a moral obligation to share what we have with as many people as possible. But back on the whole money psychology thing, money is important, and you need it, right? One of my mentors, Grant Cardone, he talks about money is important. Money allows me to give my, he talks about his 2 daughters, they get homeschooled and they're learning multiple languages at the same time, right? We fly on a Gulfstream. Money pays for that, right? Like you said, you can take your kids to Disneyland during the summer, or you can take them on a European tour so they get cultured, right? And they see the world through different lenses. One of my big things, and my wife, if when we have a daughter one day, I'm going to make sure that girl sees everything, every car, every nice dinner, so she's never impressed when some guy tries to, impress her. So, and how do you do that? By being a good person? Well, money. You need money to live a great life. I believe that. You can't travel without having money. You can't donate to organizations and charities without having money. So I believe that money is one of the spokes on the wheel to happiness. It's not the number one spoke, but it's definitely top 5. So I think that people got to get their money in order, especially, again, going back to AI is going to take 40% of jobs in America in the next 5 years. Going back to everything's going to be digital. The U.S. government's talking about making their own currency. They're phasing out nickels. I saw they're not going to make any more nickels. Then it's going to be quarters, and all of a sudden we're going to be paying for everything on our watch, or it's going to be a chip in our wrist. I mean, that we're moving towards these times, and money is going to give people access to food, clean water, and a better life. So if people think, oh, money is the root of all evil, that's not true. Being broke and struggling and not being able to provide is definitely a whole lot more evil than having an abundance of money in the household.
Listen, and that's on period. It is evil. I hate poverty. You guys, sometimes you don't make a decision because you haven't gotten ticked off enough about your current situation. I don't want you to be okay with just getting by. I don't want you to be okay with just living check to check. That's not okay. God has intended way more for you to have. And so, I hope that listening to Alex and I this morning awaken something, because sometimes you can just go home, go to work, go home, go to work, and you forget to dream, and you forget that there's a whole world out there and everybody's not broke. And as much as I hate war, it's a business. You got to understand, in every crisis, money is still moving. It never stops. It doesn't stop just because it's a war. It doesn't stop because it's a pandemic. As a matter of fact, during the pandemic, we didn't stop. I was a rebel. Honestly, I kept going. I kept moving. And not that I wasn't using wisdom, but it did not shape my decisions. You guys have to be careful that you don't let things outside shape your decisions about your destiny and your life, because nobody else has control over that but you. We do it at home sometimes, especially when the children were younger. One sibling would say to the other sibling, they did da 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 da. And we would all say, wait, you're giving them too much power. You're giving them too much power. Cyrene, you are giving Benjamin too much power. Or Brooke, you are giving Britt too much power. She doesn't have that kind of authority. She made me mad. No, you allowed her to put anger on you, but you can choose not to be angry, and you can choose not to practice anger. Because it's one thing to be angry, but it's another thing to say, I'm going to now practice anger. So thank you, Alex. This is amazing. And I love you and your wife. I'm excited about Vegas for you guys. And I'm excited about seeing you in Barcelona, Spain. You guys come join us in Barcelona. Whoever invited you on here, get back with them. Tell them, you know what? This is the squad that I want to be connected to. This is the community of people that I want to be connected to. We're family people. We love people. And we want to see people's lives change at the end of the day. And that's what's going to happen when you come over here. I think it'll be one of probably the best decisions that you can make for your overall quality of life, and definitely the best financial decision of your life, for sure. So Alex, any last words? And then we're going to roll out.
Yeah, I would just say, everything begins with that first step. And what we have here at I Am Mastery Academy, it's also very, very cheap to get started. You're talking about a couple $100s. You're going to get into a community of people digitally, and then also physically. Like Jules said, we're all going to Barcelona the end of the week, right? and you're going to get around people that can really help you become a mover and a shaker and change your life. My life changed when I started to associate with people doing better than me. So if you're watching this and you're on the fence, get off of the fence. We're good people. We're here to help. And the best is definitely yet to come. So I'm definitely excited about everything going on, super fired up, and we're going to the top. So come with us. Let's go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. Tell your beautiful wife
welcome.
hi. Happy moving. Bye, you guys. See ya.